Hey, it's Ella. Thank you for being here with me. I've been sitting here trying to think about what do I want to talk about this evening. Um, so I'm not sure where this is going to go, honestly. I guess I'll start with, let's see. Everybody today was super low energy. The whole day, the whole class was just like, Um, and the teachers kept trying to do things to kind of, energize us and everything. And like, it just was not happening. I found it to be pretty amusing, honestly. Um, my, I'm noticing that I, I thought that I have typically breathed from my belly because I have been a singer for most of my life. And you always, your choir director always says, breathe from the diaphragm, breathe from the diaphragm. I really thought that I had always done that, but I'm noticing that my breath, since I did that first supported headstand, I'm noticing that that my breath is coming from a deeper place, because emotions that I had trapped there in my body have been kind of shaken loose, and so they are no longer hanging out in my belly. They are now coming to the surface. And how that has manifested physically for me is, I think I mentioned this in a video the other day, where I had a lot of pain in my traps, and my like shoulders in the traps right here, and in my going up into my neck. And a lot of times when I am holding, that's a place where I typically store tension and anxiety, but especially tension. When I'm holding a lot of tension there, it can cause a severe headache. And so when my neck was hurting so badly the other day, Deep, our teacher, he tried various things, and finally he was like, you just need a headstand. And I was like, okay, how is that gonna help? But it instantly helped. So, and it could be as simple as when you go into the supported headstand, there are yoga blocks on either side of your head. So literally your body weight is on your shoulders right here. So literally it's gonna push out whatever is being held right here. So it could be as simple as that. That probably has a lot to do with it. But I woke up again with that type of serious tension in my neck this morning, and I could hardly move my head. I mean, it was really painful to do, like, to put my head up, down. Down was not happening at all. Side to side was really tough. So, and I tried, doing stretches and everything for most of the day, and it wasn't working. I was like, I just need another headstand, I guess. So I went into one this afternoon, and I had a couple of people helping me, except I was really kind of just getting settled in it, like I was just I was engaging my core, which that's really new for me, honestly. It's like I've just been so I guess disassociated is the term. I've just been so, like, way beyond detached. I mean, it's like I've disassociated from my belly, basically. Yeah, that's really the only way I can put it. And so it's strange that now I am able to connect with the muscles in my core, in my belly. So yeah, it's really interesting. And obviously that's very, very positive. So I was in the supported headstand and I felt like, oh, I'm going to fall out, or I need to come out of it. I need to come out of it. And I came out, but I said something. I was like, I need to come out. And I did, but I came out too fast and I landed on my left kneecap with much of my body weight. Just boom, right there on my left kneecap. So one of the teachers saw it happen, so she was like, you're gonna elevate your leg right now, and we're gonna get you some ice, and you're gonna ice it, and then we'll take a look at it in a little bit. Just leave it right now. You need to get it up the wall, elevate, and we'll get some ice, and then we'll take a look at it in a bit. So so that's what we did. And so I missed an opportunity to teach this afternoon, I was really bummed about that, because I almost said, hey, let me go first before I put my legs up the wall. And maybe I should have done that. But, you know, just to get that practice. But, oh well, it didn't happen. But I really enjoyed listening to everybody else teaching, and kind of hearing how they're finding their voices, teaching wise. It's really interesting and exciting. So there's that. So one of the other students in class, she does Reiki. So she actually offered to do some Reiki on my knee, and she had me do a visualization while she was giving me Reiki. And she's like, you know, I think this is going to be okay. Just keep doing this visualization, like even as you're going to sleep tonight, just keep doing it. And I actually had several people say that, like, I think it's going to be okay. Just, you know, and I actually feel the same way. I'm like, this seems like it could have been, or even should have been, like something really, like, potentially severe. Because, you know, landing with your body weight on your kneecap, especially when you're overweight, but really any weight, that's not a good thing. So, there's a bruise there's a bruise there, and it's a little tender, but, it actually doesn't hurt to walk, and, there's a little swelling, but it's not too much. So I'm just going to keep taking care of it. And, my, you know, what I'm manifesting is that it's going to be totally fine. So it's not going to impede me for the rest of my time here. So, and now I know that, that I can do better when I'm coming out of that supported headstand. Like, I need to get my core stronger, and, you know, because I would like to get to where I can do it by myself, where I don't need, you know, where I don't need anybody there to spot me. So, I'm not there yet. So, I have been taking it pretty easy the past, I took it easy again today, although honestly we didn't do much today because everyone was so tired. So we've already been set up that tomorrow is going to be much more active. Like, we have some advanced poses that we're going to be learning tomorrow, and so we already have been set up that, like, be ready for tomorrow because it's going to be intense. So, you know, I'll do the best I can do, you know? So I mentioned that we got our groups for our final vinyasa flow that we are giving. as teachers, and that's our exam. And our group has not gotten together yet since the initial assignment yesterday. So I think, I think most of the groups, unless it's the first group, which is Saturday morning, I think most of the groups are just waiting until we get a little bit more instruction on, which is coming tomorrow. So we'll get a little bit more, we'll actually get some time to like be together as a group to kind of sort things out. So, what's interesting is that I know that one of the people in my group, you know, I have just avoided her because we've had a couple of strange interactions where I was kind of like, okay, there's something going on here, but I don't understand what it is. It's the whole social norms thing, and you know, where stuff is just kind of lost on me sometimes of like, anyway. But today there was something very blatant that happened, and I was just kind of like, okay, I'm not sure how to approach this, or if I do approach it. So, yeah, essentially we were to get ourselves into groups of 3 to work on these different poses. Well, I was walking over to kind of where our area of the shala, where, you know, where our mats were. And, so I'll just call this person A. Okay. I don't know, whatever. So there were 6 of us standing there, and 3 of them were already in a group, and they were already working. And so there were 3 of us left, including person A and me. And she literally straight up refused to look at me, that's not the first time, and turned to one of the other people in a different group and like said that person's name, like really demonstrably, like I'm gonna work with you. And I was like, I know what you're doing. You for whatever reason, you've decided that you don't like me. I don't know why. I'm so likable. I don't know. In a group of 24 women, there are going to be personality clashes, okay? I don't care about that. That's not what I care about. What I do care about is that this person is in my final group, and we have to work together as a cohesive team. And I don't want that to be jeopardized just because there's a personality clash, you know? So I'm just going to hope for the best with that. And, I'm sort of on the fence whether I take person A aside and say, hey, look, I'm not sure what's going on here, but I know there's something going on, but I just want to make sure, like, are we cool to work together in this group, and just maybe, I'm kind of on the fence as I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not. I don't want to be, obviously I try to avoid conflict whenever possible because I hate it. But I don't want it to be a detriment to the group as a whole, just because there's a personality conflict between 2 people in the group. So, that's something that's, group dynamics. You always have to consider it. You always have to think about it. So, I'm not worried. It's all going to work out. It's, it's just one of those things that is, I just want to be cognizant of it because I want to be sure that, that I handle it the best way that I know how. So, I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to say. Okay, a couple of things. One is that during our philosophy class today, Vijay, our instructor, He he actually said that this is the point in time where we're about 2.5 weeks in to our instruction. Well, technically only 2 weeks in, but it's whatever. It's almost 2.5 weeks in with our instruction, and we have less than a week to go. And he said it's around this time when everybody kind of collectively is ready to go home. Like there's a longing for home. And I was like, oh man, yeah, he hit the nail on the head, because I kind of feel like I've been at camp, you know, like when you'd go to camp in the summertime, and it's like you don't realize how long 3 weeks is when you're a kid, you know. It's like, man, that's a long time to be away from home when you're a kid. And it's like, you know what? It's a long time to be away from home when you're an adult too. Even if you don't have a home to go to, it's still a long way from home. And a long time to be away. So he said, you know, he's like, home is there. Things are happening. Life is moving forward at home. It's going to continue to do that. Your focus is here, and you are here. So you might as well focus on what you're doing here and bring your awareness to what's right here in front of you, so that you can do your very best and have more energy to devote to the purpose of why you're even here. And I was like, all right, thank you for that reminder. So yeah, that was a good reminder. I needed to hear that, even though at the time I was like, ow, ow, my ego. So yeah, that's one thing. And then the other thing is that our, honestly, tonight's meditation that he led was, I mean, it was possibly the most beautiful meditation. I think it is the most beautiful meditation I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was absolutely magical. So he asked us this morning what kind of meditation we wanted to do this evening. And several people threw out, you know, I'd like to do something around the chakras. And he's like, okay, well, I'll see what I can come up with. And boy, did he. I mean, he delivered. So he's from Mysore in India, and he studied so much. You know, all of these teachers they all have extensive experience and study in their area of expertise. So, he knows by heart many, many, many mantras, many of them in Sanskrit. So he started off by singing a mantra blessing, and I honestly don't remember what he said that particular blessing was, but it was beautiful and just very relaxing. And we were lying down. We were in Shavasana, which is the same. It's also called corpse pose, by the way. But basically you're lying on your back with your arms kind of at your side, but a little away from your side, just comfortable. Okay. You're just comfortable. And, you know, most of us have props of some kind, because if you're lying on your back on a hard surface for a long period of time, you're going to need some props, because otherwise your back's going to start hurting, and or your knees are going to start hurting, and your head, whatever. So anyway, so he started with that, and then he led us through all 7 chakras in the body, and he basically sang the Sanskrit mantra for each one of the chakras. And his voice is very soothing anyway. And the meditation took about an hour. So, you know, between between, maybe it was like 50 minutes. Because I kind of glanced at the clock before we started, and we started a little late. So, I mean, it was about 50 minutes of him mostly singing in mantra. It was just so, so beautiful. And I actually went deeper into meditation than I have gone in years. It was just, it's like where, I don't know if anybody watching this has ever experienced this, but there are times, you know, if you really get into the habit of meditation practice, you can actually kind of come out of your body so that you are observing your body. And it's one of those things where, like, as soon as you recognize that that's what's happening, well, then you're back in your body and you're back to being fully aware, basically. It's like, dang it. Why did I have to put language around it, you know? But I did that tonight. I mean, basically effortlessly. And I did not snap out of it. I actually just continued to go deeper and deeper into meditation. It was so beautiful. And I just feel afterwards, I just feel like rejuvenated and like very calm, but rejuvenated and just restored. And yeah, it was really good, really good stuff. So I made sure to tell him, like, dude, that was amazing. And I know, you know, from a teacher perspective, I know that doing something like that, where you as the instructor are incredibly focused and, you know, using your voice like that for the entire hour, I know that that takes a lot out of you. I know that takes a lot of energy. So I definitely expressed my gratitude to him. And yeah, that was really special. So yeah, I can't believe, and I can believe, that tomorrow is our last day of instruction, I think. They've talked about this a couple of times, but it's because there's so much information that they give all at once. It's like, huh? So, yeah, it's, yeah, tomorrow is our last full day of instruction. So, and then tomorrow afternoon, we will get to spend time with our groups to talk about, you know, how we want to do and what we want to do for our Vinyasa flow exam. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. My sense is that, I mean, I'm going to enjoy whatever portion that I end up doing. I honestly don't care what portion I end up doing. I really don't. I'm just, you know, kind of along for the ride. I just want to make sure that, you know, that the class that we give as a group is going to have a really good arc to it, and that people are really going to feel the benefits from the class. So that's the main thing. And I don't really care what, you know, which piece I have. You know, I will put in, you know, the poses accordingly, depending on what, you know, where I end up in the lineup. So, yeah, it's hard to believe that this journey is ending relatively soon. It's ending in just a few days, really. We'll be done by Monday afternoon, you know, and this is the end of Wednesday. So yeah, We'll be done by Monday afternoon, and Tuesday morning is our closing ceremony, and that's it. And then everybody kind of goes their own merry little way. So this has been a very interesting, fascinating journey for me. The different kind of groups that have formed within the larger group. I mean, there are only 24 of us, but you know, there have been some cliques that have kind of formed, and you know, I was feeling some kind of way about that. And then today, one of my friends that I've made here, which, like, I've made friends with many people here, many of the 24, and you know, I feel special connections to a bunch of the people here. And so what the lesson has been for me is that even when I feel like there's something exciting going on that I haven't been invited to, that I'm being left out, do I still have a sense of belonging with myself? That's the bigger lesson, is like, people are going to come and go. People are going to, like, arrange, you know, trips to the beach, or arrange to stay in, you know, there are people arranging to stay in villas together after the training is over. But they're also staying longer than I am. So, you know, the real moral here is, do I still belong to me? Even if I perceive that I don't belong to anyone else, you know? And the answer is, hell yes, I do. I belong to me. I belong. So, on that note, I will bid you good night. So, thank you so much for being here with me, and I will see you tomorrow.